Connecting bridge to Vaults chain.
Assets and make a gain. AP also high, so juicy. For the look like Gary Busey. EMP flossing, tossing. 3650 with secret saucing.
Vaults chain. Bridge. VSC. Transaction status success. 69 block confirmations. 420 UTC.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I'm the team lead here, and this is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Now, not only covering all the EMP protocol, but our entire franchise and ecosystem. So with that, we have a lot of updates today. I also want to introduce my co-hosts with the most. We'll start with LA. LA, how are you today?
I am fucking fantastic. How are
love
you?
it. I love it. I am fucking fantastic as well. We are back on the grind. We have an AMA train that has been in full motion. I know the success of CETO has been really a driving force. And yeah, even though I'm personally getting over a cold still, but we're feeling bullish for sure. So. All right, awesome, LA. I love the intro. And also, fellow team member, Jake, Dex CEO. How are you, brother?
Man, I'm doing well. I feel like I should get a shot of coffee after hearing LA come on my next show.
I love it. Yeah, man, no doubt. I know all of us have been burning a candle at both ends, but that's the beauty of this. We all pick up the slack where the others are feeling the pain. I know both of us are in recovery mode, but LA is hyped up, so I love it. So, awesome, man. All right, awesome. Well, we're going to jump right in. We have a lot to go over today. Again, we'll try to make this as short and sweet as possible, but major success on the CETO front. We have some updates with Spark, EMP Fusion, and a lot of other stuff. But before we get into that, I just want to start with a little bit of sentiment. We have just been in such an amazing time right now of growth and building, both behind the scenes and more forward facing. And with all this progress, we're really starting to see our fruits kind of come to fruition. And Jake, I know we talked about this a little bit on the AMA today with the pillars, which we'll talk about here in a minute too. But I want to start things off and maybe get your feedback of how after what's been almost 2.5 years now in our individual protocols, that we really have set up a plan of success and we're delivering on that. Do you want to expand a little bit of our recent endeavors?
Yeah, man. We always talk about this internally, and just trying to, for a while there, it's we joke about trying to find one more day of runway,
For sure, bro.
But honestly, for the last well, obviously, last year or so we've been just building our. But yeah, man, I think everyone should feel really bullish about where we're at now. I know my community's starting to feel it with the GDEX returns, and you guys have Fusion on the very near horizon. Yeah, it definitely feels like we're breaking through the ceiling a little bit. Work seems to be more fun. Where we're it's always more fun when you're making money and
For sure.
building things that you care about and are doing well, as opposed to just kind of building in the bear and struggling through to get that runway. So yeah, we're really banging on all cylinders, and it feels really good at the moment.
Yeah, no, I could not agree more. Again, it's one of those things that's a lagging indicator where we put all the effort and time in up front, and we know that it can be frustrating to see, token prices bleed out, but know that over the long run, this is all part of the master plan, and we are setting ourselves up to capitalize on all that. So, and speaking of that, LA, our socials have been growing and on fire as well. You want to talk a little bit about that?
For sure. I was smiling when I saw William's comment on YouTube because I knew we were going to go over this. He wrote, "Don't think for a minute I haven't seen the sub count slowly rising."
I love it.
Yeah, all of our socials are growing, our groups are growing. We finally hit that pivotal 3,000 mark on our Sparkswap followers on Twitter. I just want to just emphasize that in all of our groups, on all of our socials, every single follower is 100% legit. You will literally never see a fake follower on any of our socials. And so, yeah, you might see the growth organically grow smaller than an account that, say, buys 50,000 fake followers, and literally every comment, if you actually look closely, you can see is fake. But that's not how you actually grow a successful community that loves being a part of your project and wants to show up to all of your events and wants to hear what what you have to say on the AMAs, and wants to hear about the next thing that's launching, or just wants to spend time around your team lead and all that stuff. Like, you don't do that by projecting fakeness. You do it by being real and authentic, and we've always done that from the beginning. And so it has taken a while for that momentum to catch, but all that hard work is really paying off, and it has been. So we're excited to see our communities growing on all fronts.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And we've kind of started to refer to this as launch season. I mean, we've joked about it, unintentionally, where it just so happens we don't plan it this way, but everything kind of comes to fruition all at once. And now it's actually happening, which again, for better or for worse, it does bring a lot more eyeballs back into our ecosystem. And again, now our ecosystem is even bigger than it was, including DexFi, Fusion, Spark, L1 Dex, and obviously CETO. So it is kind of a snowball effect. We talked about this a lot on our AMA today with the pillars, but the more that we, again, branch out into other chains and other communities, the more eyeballs we bring back home to continue growing the empire. So it's really exciting. We again call it a mothership or a franchise, or whatever you want to call it. We are in full-on growth mode right now, which is perfect timing with the Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin is up substantially today. ETH looking really healthy. All the blue chips, again, the stars are aligning for some eclipse humor today that we're getting there. So also with the AMA train ramping back up, this is a great time to help us help your own bags and helping spread the word as well, for sure. So all of you that have been patient and have stuck it out with us, now is the time to really start getting excited for what's coming. So all right, awesome. Anything you want to add, Jake or LA, before we get into the nitty gritty?
I think that was a good overview. Let's hit
Cool.
it.
All right, awesome, bro. Well, I'm going to pass it on to you. And I don't know if you want to share your screen or if we just want to talk about it, but I think it's really important that we kind of do a bit of a recap on the CETO launch, kind of where we're at. I guess to start things off, I guess the biggest metric is we have now been able to burn, what, 3/4 of the entire CETO supply? I think that's a pretty bold opening statement. So, yeah,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead, man.
yeah. Again, I think we maybe went through. If you're just trying to get involved now, there are some previous videos we did to, with some screen share, using the product and things like that. Um, so definitely go ahead and check back on some of the previous AMAs if you're looking for that. But yeah, I think kind of just going over some of the numbers and kind of describing kind of how it all works now that it's out there and live is maybe a good thing to talk about.
For sure.
Honestly, I think when I said that 3/4 earlier today, I think it's even I think it's even more than that. It's maybe 80% now, maybe more than that. Like almost 2 million now out of the 2.5 million supply is burned. Um, it's honestly kind of wild. I almost don't even know what to say. Honestly had to check the numbers myself this morning, because it sounds what kind of crazy that that's the case, but it is. I can assure you that the total supply is real, and that's the amount we burned. Um, and I think just to emphasize that, it's not. To be honest, for a long time I've been, a lot of people burn tokens, and they use it as an excuse, like not an excuse, but as like a way to get the community all excited, right? And you never know exactly where those come from, and if you're burning for the right reasons, it's good, right? If it's reducing supply, if it's done the right way, it can be a powerful tool. Burning alone doesn't necessarily mean that price is going up, but in this case, it almost does because there's two ways you get CETO, right? Is either you get it through emissions, or you have to buy it outright in order to burn it and then get your CETO 404. Now, because of those, because of that process, obviously there's some people that are just coming in new that want to get the 404s, and they're having to buy it on the open market, which is causing, a surge in price. And on the flip side, because of these mechanisms that keep it from coming back on CETO once it's burned, means that all this burned CETO, will never come back to put downward pressure on CETO on the main emissions token. So quite literally, like, when we say 75-80% of the supply is burned, that literally means that like the only supply left is in the LPs. So ultimately what that means is like you would have to break your LPs to sell them, which, I mean, it's possible people could do it, but they're all earning like, over 2% daily right now. So like, why, almost why would you do that with such little supply in the marketplace? It's really shaping up to be a bullish sentiment.
For sure. No, I couldn't agree more. I think those are all great points. And yeah, I mean, there is this overall narrative that burning alone, is bullish. But when you combine it with the economics of the actual emissions token being burned, and you have additional buying pressure because there are some people that just want 404 and want to speculate on the price of that NFT going up. So now you have burning and buying, which is the best of both worlds. And yeah, I mean, we're seeing it play out in real time. I mean, just look at the chart on both. I mean, the 404 CETO itself, the supply is drying up, the APRs are going up. It's a win-win for sure. I mean, what today? I think we even almost cracked 700, which is almost a 5x on the 404 price alone.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty wild. It almost looks like an up only token that they've been joking around, and
For sure.
and the not it doesn't have any of those mechanics at all. It's just pure desire to purchase the token.
Yeah, no doubt, 100%. So, all right, let's
Honestly,
go. Yeah, oh, good.
Just
Yeah,
real quick,
please.
just to follow up on that, again, like it doesn't have any kind of those up only kind of scam tokenomics involved in it. I think honestly, I think the reason people are sticking around is because even the 404s are paying like 4 to 5% daily. You know what I mean? That's
For
why.
sure.
So I know no one wants to get rid of them. You know?
Yeah, no, 100%. Now you took the words out of my mouth, so I think that's a great segue because, obviously, and we talked a lot about this on the AMA earlier today, but I think it's important that we reiterate here. You know, it's one thing, and I love your analogy of the carrot and the stick. So it's one thing to incentivize somebody to burn, and it's another thing to force them to burn. And I think no matter what happens, as long as the APR and the yield is juicy enough, then it is a no-brainer to go ahead and burn your CEO, get some 404s, and then reap the benefits of the actual real yield. Right now, we haven't even implemented half of the revenue streams with CEO, so you're getting all reflections. But even that, like Jake said, you're between 4 and 5% daily, especially here in the beginning, on the 404s themselves. So just imagine when all the revenue streams start kicking in. Hopefully within the next few weeks, we'll have vaults and perps up. And then, we could even see that APR go even higher, which again, the higher the APR drives demand, which it's a vicious cycle of positive price movement when that happens. So you want to go into that a little bit more, Jake, about when we think we're going to be able to get the emissions figured out and some other locker mechanisms for those that have been trying to get some rares. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, the whole system is really intricate. The launch this past Friday was really just about getting the base mechanics down and making sure the contracts ran smoothly. On the contract level, everything's deployed, and obviously we're not gonna relaunch contracts or anything like that. There's some front end UI stuff that we kind of came across last minute. A good example of this is like if you have the Fishman NFTs, those pay out in swap fees. So if you can imagine, swap fees on 6 or 7 different LP tokens, those come in the actual LPs themselves. So we have to put in like the app has to be able to be able to account for those different LPs, the pricing of each one, the pricing of all of them, your total that you're able to claim, those kinds of things. So we're on the final stages of the automation, the full automation. Right now we're kind of manually distributing the 404 emissions to everybody. And we should have some of that. We should have that all figured out within the next day or two, probably. And then the last little piece is kind of the third-party markets, in addition to the locker. So I know some of you guys have gotten lucky and had some real rare items. I know a couple of you guys have seen some Sparkies going around. Those are similar to the kind of the gold ones, the ultra rares. So if you have one of those, you obviously want to be able to make sure you protect it. Because we don't have control of the third party markets, we run into some snags with like Element, which is the primary marketplace. We have to whitelist the different contracts. So we've been trying to get in touch with them and make sure that process is a little bit more smooth. But definitely the custom locker will be coming in the next day or two, so you can lock up those rares and then continue re-rolling and things like that.
Perfect. Yeah, and that should be a whole nother wave. Again, on the game theory side, I know I was lucky enough to actually mint a Sparky as well, but I don't want to. I don't want to jeopardize losing him, so I've just been stacking it up. But yeah, be very careful again because of that reroll mechanism and the reflection tax. You don't want to accidentally reroll one of your rares. But again, I think once that is figured out, what sounds like directly, we could see an argument being made that it is so lucrative to take a stack of CETO and re-roll even with those taxes to get a rare one, and then again you have to realize, especially some of the higher ones, like I believe it's the Godzillas and the what is the highest tier? The hydras, yes, the multi-headed hydras. Both of those, I mean, they are so rare and have such a higher percentage of the yield rewards that you can make an argument for burning or re-rolling $1,000 worth of 404s just for the chance that you might get one and make it up in the price appreciation. So yeah, I think again there's a whole nother wave volume that we haven't even seen yet. Would you agree, Jake?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the some of the more valuable ones are definitely going to be sought after, especially with the marketplace still being kind of tweaked. So make sure people can get those. I know a lot of people have been trying to buy the more rare ones on the third party market. So yeah, there's not to be honest, we've had such great success. It's almost hard to find any faults in the initial launch. But yeah, there's definitely a couple pieces that we still need to clean up. The automations, the third party marketplaces, that could bring honestly a whole nother element. You know, like you said, there's right now the volume's been so great that like they're paying out so well, and that's like without even people trying to reroll because they don't want to we don't have a locker yet. They don't want to lose there. So
For sure.
I think everyone's still early, and we could see a lot of additional volume, a lot of third party sales, starting to come through.
Yeah, no, 100%. And on that note, too, one final point is, and again, this might be some alpha that you can elaborate on, Jake, but it is in the works that we will have an auto compounding vault for 404s as well, right? Once we bring the vaults over, I think that there will be a seamless option to essentially accumulate these 404s and on a completely passive time scale, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the reasons why we push back the vault launch. Because of the 404 system now, we wanted to be able to have a take profit in place where you could take profit in the NFT in the 404s, but 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 still use the suggested mechanism to get it right to actually burn the CETO as opposed to just like trying to buy it through the open market. So yeah, we'll have the vaults ready this week for sure. They have a couple of different interesting options for either single token 404s or ETFs. We're working on a special ETF that has the 404 in it. But both of those options will actually claim all your CETO and burn it. To follow the right path. Getting rid of that from circulation, and then minting basically ETFs that have 404s in them, which you can claim anytime and basically burn those whenever you like to kind of get your get more 404s.
Perfect. And that, again, I mean, we haven't even really talked about it specifically, but I think people understand through the way the economics work. I mean, the actual 404s themselves, their goal is to make them deflationary as well, right?
The 404s themselves, yeah, I mean, there's definitely ways we can for sure integrate deflationary mechanisms on top of those. I think just by nature alone, the general nature, once we implement the 404 LPs and things like that. I mean, even right now, a lot of them are just in the LPs, can't be sold. There is additional mechanisms where it's a little bit complex, but because there's no staking involved, right? There's people may or may not sell a full one or part of ones, so there winds up being this kind of a lot of dust. Just like if you went ahead and sold your NFTs before before you claim. Now you have less of them. There's like a little remainder all the time, right? Which we found a way to for the protocol to go ahead and scoop back up and basically claim all the unused 404s, and so those will go to the treasury. Essentially making them deflationary.
Yeah, perfect. That was what I was alluding to. I know, again, just because of the nature of how one NFT is one token essentially. It's inherently that there will always be some leftover tokens, and therefore there will never be a situation of all 10,000 NFTs actually being minted, which again is super bullish because some people speculate on the rarity of the NFT itself. Like we're getting the best of both worlds with these 404s. It's a token and it's an NFT, and there's two types of people that speculate on that. So and at the end of the day, no matter who's speculating, as long as you're in CETO, you're winning because again, it's very healthy for the inflation of the reward token. So awesome. All right,
Yeah.
and then go ahead. You want anything else to add to that?
No. I think that was a good overview.
Perfect. All right, and then LA, you want to chime in here about the AMAs again? We've been doing a full schedule. We had a great one today with the pillars. David and Matt Hatter are always a pleasure. And yeah, I've been a little out of the loop. I feel like Jake has been killing it as the conductor of the AMA train. So yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Jake's been killing it. I especially love today's. I felt like the conversation was super natural and just like flowed without really them having to ask you all that much. You all just kind of conversed, which is really ideal. That's the way that you'd like it to be, really.
For sure.
But they've all been so great. We've been in with the DeFi Dojo, with Crypto Pride, with Midnight Calls, and with the Pillars so far. We've got a few more coming up this week, so we're going to keep promoting the hell out of these 404s and CETO as a whole. And it's going to be great. We've got some more exciting stuff up our sleeves on this AMA train.
Yeah, no doubt. We're just getting started, and again, it will piggyback into perps, which again we're rolling out not only on Pulse but also on Manta. So that will be another follow-up, and then obviously
sure.
Fusion as well. We have the next few months are going to be non-stop promo, which aligns perfectly with our roadmap for sure.
And
So.
I do want to point out again, like so many times AJ and I had these discussions prior to us all merging months back, saying we have to come up with a way to create a way that all of us don't have to be working 7 days a week, because it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable long term. We're going to all burn ourselves out.
For sure.
And this was just such a great example over last week, just showing how Jake did such a great job on all of these AMAs, that with building a bigger team and with having more people that we trust and know we can rely on, that we can all sub in for each other. And we do all have different strengths, but we can all rely on each other, and we know that we have each other's backs, and so we can count on each other. And that makes it so that if one of us is going to be away or if one of us is sick, we know that the slack is going to be picked up. And that's such a great feeling. And it's not something that we had the ability to do when we had a much smaller team. We just always had to be on, I remember having COVID and like literally feeling like I was dying and like having my laptop open in bed just because it had to be done. But now we just have so much more ability to build even faster, but also have a little bit more freedom to not get burnt out and to have a little bit more family time, or a day off here and there. And it's great that we can continue to grow at the pace we can and still accomplish that, because we've got a great team.
Yeah, absolutely, LA. it's finally coming together. And yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of this relationship, is that we have finally found our people, and we, again, not only is it a trust issue, but it's also a drive issue where there is no excuses. We always have joked in our own community that no other dev team works as hard as we do, until we partnered with DexFi. And so this has been just a match made in heaven. And we complement each other. We bring a lot more from the advertising and educational side. DexFi brings a lot more from the development side, and now we're able to scale tremendously well. And the proof is in the pudding. I mean, again, even though some people may like to think we're getting distracted, it's about, and again, Jake said it perfectly earlier, it's about building a bigger net. And the bigger our net of influence and products and chains, the more we're able to drive value back home to our communities. And that is their goal. It always has been their goal. And now we're just able to deliver on that a little bit faster than we had originally planned. So, all right, awesome. Yeah.
On that
Yeah,
note,
go ahead.
just one more thing to add. There were people in the EMP chats earlier saying, hey, can you guys direct some of these announcements about Sparkswap and CetoSwap to another channel? We just want to see Fusion updates from here on out in here. And I said to them, this is exactly why we're posting about these projects in here, because L1Dex, because Sparkswap, because CetoSwap, because SwapX, these are all the direct revenue streams for Fusion. So whether or not
For
you
sure.
ever plan on investing in these sister projects that we're launching, you should pay attention to what's going on with these projects, because it will directly impact what you're earning in Fusion. And every time we make momentum and progress with one of these projects, you should get excited. Even if you don't have a single dollar invested into one of them, you should get excited, because it means that you're going to earn more when Fusion launches. So we are not going to stop posting about them, because it matters.
I
You know
love
what,
it.
LA too? I think you kind of hit it on the head earlier, just by when we were talking about the socials kind of upticking. I know we felt this, we felt it as well, that like it's not a huge surge, right? But we definitely see new people kind of coming in. And I'm almost positive that that goes both ways, right? People that are whether they've been in early on CETO or DexFi or any of them. I mean, the 404 is a great example, though, because like there's probably a lot of people that are coming into 404s now thinking, oh, this is great, I wish I would have gotten at launch, right? As soon as we deploy a Spark 404, you're going to get a lot of people that are really hyped about these 404s that know it works, and they're going to want to get in early. So I think the overlap is just a great thing in general. It's really
Yeah.
hard to argue with that.
100%. No, I love it, Jake, and you're right. I mean, again, it's about learning from what we're doing again, and it's not about distracting. And it is a snowball effect. And if anybody has that mentality of, I don't want to hear about another project, when that project is directly linked to helping your own bags, like, I don't know what to tell you. You guys got to just move on at that point, I guess. But yeah, we're on the pinnacle of all of these things falling into place. And it could be another month, it could be another couple of months, but in the next few months, all of this labor and dedication and revenue that we've been working on for literally years will finally dial in for sure. So all right, awesome. So with that being said, I want to take a few questions while we're on CETO specifically. Do we have a time scale on the release of the the 404 farm itself, Jake?
That's a good question. Probably sooner rather than later. I don't have an exact time frame on it. At the moment, we don't want to necessarily fragment the liquidity, and we need
For
to make
sure.
sure that there's enough emissions kind of going around. That'll definitely be like the next one up. We also have the vaults coming up this week as well. The last piece of the like a 404 farm specifically, like I mentioned, we built a lot of cool stuff into the code. So there is, like I said, we have this mechanism to um, pay farmers for in 404s. But again, we need to make sure that the rest of the mechanics are working first before we kind of introduce more things. But so I guess the short answer is soon, and maybe not exactly what you want to hear, but it'll be the next thing we do probably.
Yeah, no
Farm
doubt.
wells.
All right, that's good to hear. And again, obviously there's new tech. We're still working through some kinks. I mean, everything so far has been flawless, but we don't want to implement something that could inadvertently, break something or negatively impact the momentum. So we're double checking everything we're doing before doing it, for sure. So, all right,
I
Yeah.
have a
yeah,
question for
yeah.
Jake. I think that like a lot of new people that I've been getting feedback from have been kind of concerned about the re-rolling. Can you kind of go over what actions will cause a re-roll and what can they do that won't cause a re-roll? Like
Um,
like they're claiming, like they're sending to a different wallet, like all those kind of things. Like just can you kind of go over the different actions and what actually causes a re-roll and that kind of thing?
yeah, I mean, it's a it's a little more complicated than it's like the answer is not super specific into some regard. I mean, basically, anytime you transfer, anytime there's any transfer, right? Whether it's buying, selling, or transferring between wallets, if you go above or below one single number, that's gonna create a reroll. At the moment, it the basically the previous so if you look on the dashboard, you'll notice there's different numbers, right? Um, be, without the locking mechanism, if you happen to sell, zero point 0.5, which brings you down a whole number, it's gonna burn the last one that you just got in. So again, I mean, you can use that, but um, you know, uh, don't necessarily quote me on it because, like I said, it's a little there's a lot of math and um, there's a lot that goes into that. Again, we did try to add some like we call it like DNA to each NFT. So like if you try to sell like a point one or just something small to reroll, that's not gonna do it for you. You'll have to move a full token to actually see a reroll show up in your wallet. Um, we are, like I said, adding the locker and the marketplace is kind of the next, maybe last. I don't want to say last because we're always building, I guess, but that's the last uh, major chunk of functionality that we have to kind of round the system out. And then, once we get all that stuff out, we'll provide some kind of more clear instructions on, specifically what you have to do if you wanted to re-roll that kind of thing without hurting yourself. Before we get the locker out, we don't want to give too much guidance because, we don't want people re-rolling and then saying that we messed them up or something.
For sure. Yeah, I
Cool.
think right now it's a matter of just being cautious. I would say don't try to reroll or transfer to other wallets unless you're super confident or you've experimented on your own. Right now is just kind of an accumulation phase, and then yeah, once we implement all the lockers and the actual documentation that we're for sure on, then people can have at it.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. Any other Manta or CETO specific questions?
Not that I see.
All right, awesome. Well, again, I know, Jake, you've been busy and trying to get caught up. We have a lot more to go over if you want to hang out. I think that was it. Was there anything other CETO specific things you want to add?
I think that was a good overview. Same as always, feel free to jump in the chats if you want more information. I mean, I think we're off to just an amazing kind of start. Lots more to come. The 404s are obviously paying out really well, even without some of the extra, without some of the extra revenue, which will be included this week. I'm sure we'll come back on for the Vaults launch, and some of you guys are familiar with that stuff, but we'll go through, we'll do a detailed walkthrough and kind of go through all that stuff. I'm actually pushing out an airdrop right now, so if you were farming in CETO over the last couple of weeks, you'll probably be getting something in your wallet shortly.
Bullish. All right, there you have it. And again, I just want to say too, and Jake, before you leave, maybe you comment on this. We've been really strategic in the rollout of CETO as well. I think people, especially with a farm token, even though we have monumental differences in the emissions now, people get a little bit worried, like, they're too late. And I think that's a sad excuse for people to miss out on opportunities. And that's not me trying to induce FOMO or anything, but we have been very, very deliberate in the rollout, and it has been a slow roll, basically, where we are trying to just build organically through, our channels, our communities, and I think we're seeing that play out. Would you agree? I mean, for those that think they're too late, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely room to run. I mean, just based on the returns for the 404s right now, like they're still paying like 4 to 5% daily at just getting started without any additional revenue.
For sure.
I think the market will ultimately determine the end price of 404s, but the fact that they're paying so well right now and we haven't even included extra revenue. I think that's a good sign that there's a lot of room to run still. However, I will say this, that, if you do think, if you think you're too late, it's never too late to own ETH, right? Or USDC, right? So, if you're worried about it all, feel free to just jump in the farms. They're still paying out really well, and you can, earn free CETO and put it in the 404s for, pretty low risk, a low risk play.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and again, it's nothing we talk about here is financial advice. I think that, that we are still super early, and the whole idea is that we're trying to give opportunity to those that have been with us and stick with us. And I think that, we're just getting started. And really, again, just to drive that home, you can see it in Pandora, the original 404. That has arguably not even a tenth of the use case that we do, and we see, a five-figure number. So again, just put that in perspective. We never recommend selling your core positions to speculate on something new. But if you have other assets that, are underperforming, it could be a great way to start earning, and build your bag all over again on a brand new chain with exposure to ETH. Like Jake said, it's never a bad time to start having exposure to ETH or stables for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right, man. Well, we're gonna wrap it up on that part. We'll move on to Sparkswap now. LA, we're getting really close to our brand new UI. You want to talk about that while I pull it up?
For sure. We always love to see that little sneak peek. We're getting super close to unveiling our new UI. Our launch is coming extremely soon, so be on the lookout for that. AJ is showing a little preview right now, our Sparky mascot right there. The new UI will be more mobile friendly. It'll feature a lot of new stats and tools for you to use. And it'll feature our Sparky robot.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great. We will hopefully have an update this week. Again, we've just been doing some final UI and testing, and with this, it will also also expand our capabilities. We have again the bridges. We're adding the Manta network again. We didn't even talk about that earlier, but we will be adding Pulse to Manta, as well as the new SwapX chain, which we'll talk about in a minute as well. But the idea again is that not only is the UI update a more visually pleasing update, but it's also much more streamlined in the terms of the tech, the usability, and then ultimately, more revenue coming back to the protocol. So, yeah, anything else you want to add to that, LA? I know we've been, again, continuing to expand.
For sure. Yeah. And every single one of these partnerships or protocols that we're launching, they're fueling Sparkler, they're fueling Fusion. So get excited about these additional protocols that we're launching and the partners that we're promoting. Even if it seems like some weeks there's more news on the other protocols than on Sparkswap or EMP specific news. Because trust me, there will be weeks where you hear so much about Fusion or so much about Sparkswap that you want to tell us to shut up and talk about something else also.
Yep,
It's coming. Trust
totally.
me.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, awesome. Oh, all right, let me get my screen back. All right, so I think that's pretty much it in terms of Spark. Again, we had some great Sparkler payouts as well. Obviously
Good.
with volume, we've said all along that it is, randomized based on the volume we're doing, but with the success of CEO and everything else we're driving home, Spark is still looking good, and Spark is up. I mean, we over the last few days, we've seen a good little recovery along with Pulse. So, yeah, anything you want to add to that, LA?
It's been nice to see it ticking up gradually. And when we get those gradual inclines, people you know, aren't as inclined to sell on the pumps when it's more gradual. So I like that it's happening in a gradual motion.
For sure.
Um, so it's nice to see it climbing back up, and we knew this would happen. Obviously, with PLS being down, it wasn't going to stay down forever. And so we are just waiting for it to climb back up.
Perfect. All right, awesome. And yeah, and the yields are still very consistent, which in, terms of liquidity providing is what you want for sure. So, all right, let me go ahead and pull up now the SwapX. We have a lot to go over with that. LA, you've been spearheading this, so I'm gonna let you run through it, but let me go ahead and pull up the website to make it a little easier.
Oh man, this is something else I am so jacked up for. Oh my God, this has been a lot of planning and a lot of coordinating, but it is going to be so fire. Tomorrow is the day for anyone who is on our guaranteed list, and then the 10th is the day for anyone who signed up for the wait list but didn't quite reach the cutoff for that guaranteed list. So it's very, very important for you guys to pay attention to the dates and times. If you signed up, even if you're on the guaranteed list, it's still going to be quite important for you to get in there and get your NFTs purchased near the beginning, because you just never know with these things.
For sure.
So tomorrow's the day for anyone on our guaranteed list. The next 2 days are going to be huge for anyone who plans to get involved in SwapX. Like I just said, it's really important for you to pay attention to announcements. We've made numerous pinned announcements in all of our groups and socials with the full set of instructions on how to buy, but we're going to go through it here with AJ on the screen as well. So he has the website pulled up here. This is where you will go to buy swapx.fi/presale. You'll connect your wallet. There are 3 stages. So on April 9th at 12 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. UTC, is the guaranteed list spots. So if we have been in contact over DMs and you've spoken to me personally and I've put you on our guaranteed list, you will be tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. UTC, and you will have 24 hours at the price of 0.16 ETH per X NFT. And then on April 10th at 12 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. UTC, it will be the first come, first serve private sale for users who filled out the early access form with the AJ EMP Spark tag as your referrer. And that will give you access if you were not on the guaranteed list, but you were on the white list. And that will also be at the 0.16 ETH per NFT mark. And then on the 11th of April at 12 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. UTC, if they are not sold out at that point, it will open to the public. And even if you are not on any list, you'll be able to purchase at that point for 0.18 ETH per NFT. Once you get onto the website, it's super simple. You're going to connect your wallet on Binance Smart Chain. You're going to verify your eligibility by checking your eligibility for the current phase. You're going to specify the quantity. So if you're eligible, specify the number of X NFTs you wish to purchase. You're going to approve the transaction, and then you're going to simply buy. Confirm the approval. Approve the request on your wallet and wait for it to automatically reopen for the next confirmation. Confirm the purchase and the purchase request on your wallet. And that is literally it. And then they will be purchased.
Perfect. No, I think that's a great overview. Again, I'm already connected with one of my whitelisted wallets. It'll tell you how many, whether you're secured or not. It'll tell you how many NFTs you are able to buy and your referrer as well. And there will be an additional button that pops up again when the countdown ends to type in how many NFTs you want to purchase. So, yeah.
Also, don't just rely on my verbal instructions. It pinned in all our groups. There's the schedule, there's the instructions, and there's even a video tutorial if you're needing more of a visual guide. So literally everything you need there, the website, everything is pinned in all of our groups. Please, under no circumstances should you ever click on anything that is DM'd to you. I have the contract address pinned in all of our groups already. The website pinned in all of our groups, the schedule, the instructions. There's no need for you to get any information anywhere else. So please do not click on anything that is not in those pinned announcements under
Perfect.
any circumstances.
Yes, 100%. That's your final warning for sure.
I have also DM'd every single one of you that are on our guaranteed list. In our previous conversation where we already had chat history with each one of you. So if it's a brand new me with no chat history, that's not the real me. I have also DM'd all of you the same thing that is also pinned in the groups. So you have it in both places. So yeah.
Perfect. All right, I think that was a great overview. Anything else while I have my screen up?
No. Someone's asking, what is SwapX? Do you want to give them a 60-second overview?
Yeah, so SwapX is also another endeavor that we are diving into. Again, we're not part of the core team, which is good because we're already spread pretty thin, but we are going to be working directly with SwapX to implement the bridging solution. So SwapX is a brand new layer 2 put out by OKX, and we have a great relationship with the team behind it. BB, the original developer behind Drip Network and Animal Farm, very, very talented developer that we have, again, a very long track record with. And yeah, we're excited to be an official partner. They have a lot of really bullish mechanisms, and similar to how we operate, they are prioritizing real yield of the exchange to all the SwapX NFT holders. So we were given an opportunity through our partnership to raise funds. We have done that, and now this is the mint of all the NFTs to bootstrap the DEX. And part of the bridge fees from SwapX to Pulse and to Manta will be coming home to our own protocols. So does that wrap it up, LA? I think it's an overview. Yeah.
Yep, that sounds great.
All right, awesome. All right, what is on the list next?
EMP updates.
All right, I'm gonna let you. Can you run through it real quick? I gotta do something on the back end here, and then
Sounds good.
I'll chime in. Okay.
All right, so we're getting extremely close to announcing a date, guys. And when we do, you will have a 2-week grace period to get ready. So it is if you're officially given permission to allow your excitement to start bubbling up. I'm not gonna hype it up any more than that yet because I don't want to get accused of prematurely hyping, but we're getting extremely close to announcing a date. I will say that. We've been super busy behind the scenes booking even more AMAs so that when we're ready to begin our AMA train around sacrifice time, everything is all booked, all paid for, and we literally just have to open the calendar and arrange the dates with everyone. We are more prepared than we have ever been for any launch we have ever done before. Just to remind all you guys, we're going to be doing a 2-tier marketing approach. So there's going to be an initial marketing blitz that will begin around sacrifice time, where there's going to be 15 to 20 AMAs in a giant AMA train. We've got banners going up on popular DeFi sites. We've got calendar notifications, all kinds of things. And then once we are back to peg, once we've got major buzz going and people are starting to talk about it outside of our core community, once we've got FOMO worthy levels built, we are going to hit them with a whole second wave of marketing, 15 to 20 more AMAs, completely different groups, completely different influencers, and just absolutely explode that momentum. So I have already got that whole second list ready. Those ones are not paid for yet because it's going to be slightly further down the line. But I have every single one of those planned and already have relationships and connections with the leaders or groups of every single one of those groups or the influencer themselves. So we are so prepared and ready. Yeah, just to reiterate what I said earlier, every single one of these sister projects is feeding into Fusion. So we could not be in a better position than we are now, exposure wise or revenue wise, because every single one of these projects is giving us exposure to a new community, is giving us more revenue that's going to flow into Fusion. So we are just in such a great position going into the launch of our baby that we've been building, that we've been growing in our tummies for all this time.
Yes, 100%. Yes, the Fusion baby is finally about to be birthed. So, no, that was a great overview, LA, again, and really, it's a long time coming. We know that the anticipation has been overwhelming at points, but we're almost there. we're getting updates on a daily basis now from the dev team. Again, as soon as we're able to announce a date, we will, and then we have a very specific rollout plan that not only is meant to drive more users, but also recover peg, and jumpstart the other parts of the ecosystem, including DAAS. So, and that was another thing I want to touch on really quick with EMP. I know a lot of you have been, there were some issues with the rollovers of Detonator. We have hopefully fixed it completely now. We were waiting to just do it all at once with Fusion, but it was becoming more and more of an issue. It had to do with the upkeep contracts with our VRF and Chainlink, but I think that we have figured all that out now, and all the rollovers should be much better. And remember, it is important that at least somebody interacts with DAAS at least once a day to trigger those rewards. So, yeah. Do you have any other news on that, LA? I know we've been trying to get some more info from the dev team.
As of right before the AMA, we were told that from moving on forwards, it should not be an issue anymore, and that everything should be running smoothly.
Perfect. Yep, that's the same info I got, and I think the rollover went well. I checked my detonator, and it looked to be correct. So, all right, awesome. And then, all right, any other last minute info with Fusion before we take some questions?
Not on my end immediately.
All right, perfect. I do have one more quick announcement. I'll be doing an announcement in the chat a little bit later, but I have been asked to be a advisory member on a new meme token on Solana called Splat. So it's a few other devs that you may know. Me, Troy from Abyss and the ERS ecosystem, Will and Chad from Oregon and Glass. I just want to mention it real quick. It is no pressure. It's going to be a very laid back philanthropy style meme token. But I do wanted to bring it up because there were some people asking if we were involved or not, and the answer is yes. But again, no expectations on that one. We have our plates full, but this will be a fun little project on Solana as we continue to grow. So, all right, awesome. LA, do we have questions?
Yes, we do. Let's start with Discord.
Perfect.
Okay. Will Fusion work in the future like a launchpad for other projects?
Yeah, so in the traditional sense, launchpad, probably not. However, the idea is that we are incentivizing other protocols to list their tokens as batteries. So what happens is you're able to take profit into their token. So again, utilizing hopefully L1X technology and some cross-chain mechanisms. Imagine being able to take profit in CETO or DEX, GDEX, or any other partner token that has no negative impact on the token itself, meaning the rewards you're getting are not adding to the selling pressure of that reward. And it's bullish for other protocols because it's direct buying pressure on their token. So, in the traditional sense, not really a launch pad, but we can absolutely have new tokens launched through Fusion and accomplish the same goal.
Awesome. I'm so excited for you to answer this next one and blow their mind.
All right.
If the farm for ESHARE is removed when Fusion is live, where does the minting of ESHARE come from? Will there be another way to stake ESHARE to earn further ESHARE? Thanks.
Yeah, so this is why it's so bullish. And I'll blow their mind, LA. The answer is the only way to earn ESHARE is through Fusion, and it becomes, a way of earning, and that is bullish because now all that momentum and economic impact is solely concentrated on ESHARE being the only usable or liquid token in the ecosystem. And again, remember, eShare will still function outside of Fusion. Energy is the locked version inside Fusion, but both of them will correlate the same. And that's why I think, again, we could see a lot more demand on eShare and a lot less selling pressure, which could really move the price substantially. And we've already seen eShare starting to go back up again over the last few days. We've been hanging around the $30 range, but once we announce that we're ready and sacrifice starts, we could easily see that move up for sure. And remember, we're on a halving model, just like Bitcoin, so there will be less and less eShare available over time as well, which is also super helpful.
Yeah. And just to
Yeah, you
go
want to
over
add to
some
that? Yeah, go ahead, Ellie. Yeah.
yeah, and just to go over some of the core mechanics. So there's a specific number of emissions every single day when it comes to eShare, and with the having model every year, that gets cut in half with how much gets emitted per year. With taking away those two farms when we launch Fusion, those emissions that were I can't talk all of a sudden, originally designated for those farms, those emissions are designated to the Fusion single staking pool. But the
Exactly.
difference is, on top of those emissions, there's also all of these external revenue streams, as well as Fusion itself, which is a source of revenue. And it is quite a significant source of revenue if you take into account all of the transactions that happen on the protocol. If you take into account all the purchasing of batteries, you know, there, there's so many different little triggers that are going to create revenue for the protocol that all will help to inspire more rewards for the users. And if there's one thing you're learning by watching how Sparkswap works, and we've said that Fusion is Sparkswap on steroids, we're creating protocols that are designed to give the majority of the revenue back to the users. That's how you create great communities who want to stick around and take good care of your protocols. And Fusion's very much designed in that way. A large portion of the revenues from all these different sources are funneling back into Fusion to bolster those rewards to keep them healthy. So
100%. Yeah.
hopefully that kind of clears things up a little bit for you between both of our explanations.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and just one more time to reiterate that that's what we were mentioning earlier about people that don't want to hear about updates from other sister projects is crazy because the money has to come from somewhere. Again, we're moving away from the inflation, we're moving away from the Ponzonomics, and we are solely based on real yield. And the fact that we are launching other protocols to feed Fusion, that makes it even more powerful. And we said it from day one. Had we been able to launch Fusion a year ago, it would have never reached the success that it can reach now because we simply didn't have enough revenue feeding the protocol. And so now that we have had this time to build out, we've expanded our revenue streams, we've expanded our network, we've expanded our community, we've expanded our reach. All of these things are going to matter tremendously when Fusion is finally here. And we have done literally everything humanly possible to set ourselves up for success with Fusion. And once once we opened the box, I think people will realize, man, they really did pull it off.
Yeah, and I would be remiss to say that I'm not fueled by my motivation to prove the haters wrong on a daily basis.
Yes, 100% LA. Oh, I love it.
Ah, anyways, that's it for questions.
All right, well that was pretty good today. We kept it about an hour. Again, I'm starting to get to the end of my rope. Anyway, so this is good timing in terms of being able to breathe and speak. But no, I think we covered a lot today. Again, a lot of updates will be coming this week as well, both on CETO and on Spark. We have a ton of things, and that's the crazy part is we're just going to start releasing these major announcements one after the other. So
It's
make
long,
sure, yeah, right,
guys.
right, LA. I know we gotta keep them engaged. We'll have so much bullish announcements that they're going to be numb to it all. So
I hope
yeah,
not.
yeah.
I still get so excited for every single one of these. So
Same here.
hopefully they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, no, 100%. We will, but we're just gonna continue to push it out. So, all right, awesome. Any final words? Anything you want to add? Anything we didn't cover? Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say we were all talking earlier, and we were just saying we feel like there's some major magic in the air. Like, we're in this awesome spot where everything's just about to explode, and I'm sure all you guys can feel it too. We've been riding this buildup of momentum for quite a long time, and we're ready to, have it shoot on up. So, uh, you know, we really appreciate the fact that you guys have been along for the entire road. And I do want to just say this because I read it earlier and I absolutely loved it. But it's about learning to fall in love with every part of your journey, even the parts that at the time you were struggling with and you wanted to wish them away and you wanted them to go by faster. So I think a lot of people throughout this journey wanted some of this portion of waiting to go by faster. They wanted it to be shorter. But you guys have stuck along the whole time, and there's been some ups and downs, but we are at such a good place now, and it's those times that make now feel so good and so sweet because we have gone through some shit. We have gone through some tough times. We have gone through some times where we had to have some major grit and resilience to get through them. And so now we get to really enjoy the upwards progression as we move on up and the momentum really takes over. So now we get to celebrate as that happens. But thank you for being along for the entire journey with us, guys.
I love it. That was very profound, LA. And yeah, I could not agree more. They say, the enjoying the journey is half the battle. And yeah, I mean, I can't imagine had we not gone through those struggles and and pushback and frustration, as with all DeFi projects, and still come out on the other side, we would not have nearly the success that we're having now, and that sets up the foundation for years to come. I mean, just imagine when everything is finally out. We're going into full bull at the end of this year with six-figure Bitcoin markets are on fire. We are going to be one of the household names in DeFi. Dex Finance, EMP, all that we're doing, and that is really powerful. And all of us that did stick it out and had conviction and patience and understanding that we're all here trying to do right by each other and you know, and just continue to deliver, we are the ones that will be winning together. So, all right, amazing stuff.
Sure.
I love it. I'm fired up, LA. I don't know if Jake is still here. If he wanted to say anything at the end, Jake, are you still on, brother? Any final words?
Here, man, you guys covered it all, man. It's very exciting. It definitely feels like we're on to some big things here.
Awesome, brother. Good deal. Well, on that note, we'll wrap it up. We're going to get some rest while we can. We have some more announcements this week, as well as other AMAs. Again, the AMA train will continue. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps our engagement. Again, we mentioned it today. We've seen our numbers going up gradually, which is amazing. And all of these AMAs, not only do they help get the word out, but they also help as an additional revenue stream. So all the ad revenue from YouTube is also put back into our protocols. So again, share the love, share the word, and help us get in front of even more people. So all right, we will be back on Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. If we have any other breaking news, in the meantime, we usually do some impromptu AMAs as well, but you can count on Mondays and Thursdays. And that being said, well, a good night, good day, much love. We'll see you on Thursday.